I ain't a rapper, I'm a crip. I hang with gangbangers, not rap niggas. Fuck the money, I got homies that'll slap jiggle. And everybody claiming gang, but ain't nobody riding.
All right, what's going on YouTube? Yesterday morning, the Arsonal and Cassidy lockdown face-off dropped on the URL app. For those who have the app, you've seen it yesterday. For those who don't, you've probably seen it today as it was released on YouTube, probably around lunchtime. The face-off was about 17 minutes. At about the 7:45 mark, Arsonal says, SMD for the very first time to Cassidy. And from that point on, I think for about 5 more minutes to the 13-minute mark, you hear it 30 more times. So a total of about 31 times, about a 5-minute span. So about from that first time on to about 13 minutes, which is when they cut it off and they start, letting the other battle rappers speak, you hear SMD about once every 10 seconds. So that goes to let you know the type of time they were on, the type of intensity it was. Wasn't friendly at all. They tried to kind of get there, but it seemed like out the gate, Cassidy was just uncomfortable. He wasn't allowed to smoke. They kind of edited it out, so I feel like there was some type of episode that happened within the face-off that we didn't really get to see. But you see some kind of weird tendencies from Cassidy. He kind of goes on and talks about himself and kind of goes on to a rant before Uncle Ra eventually stops him and asks Cassidy, "Why am I here?" Cassidy goes on to explain that he didn't want Jay Black there because Jay Black is a hater, because Jay Black cannot explain his hate towards him or whatever. In his last battle, Jay Black released an episode. Turns out that it actually wasn't hate. Jay Black even went on to show with even the old clip showing him even praising Cassidy, saying Cassidy beat Disaster, but he was just split down the middle. Called it how most everybody saw it, with the Cassidy and Goods battle, that Cass lost pretty convincingly. So, nonetheless, we had Uncle Ra as the mediator, and just from T-Top and Briz and Murder Life, I didn't think he did a good job either. But Uncle Ra just kind of let these guys kind of go at it a little bit too much. I understand it's a face-off. You want to build that dialogue between the two battlers to kind of increase the hype of the battle. But I do feel like there is some type of value in a role for the mediator to ask his own questions and kind of control where the conversation is going. Most of the whole time we heard them just say "suck my dick" to each other. Your mom's on my dick, your grandma's on my dick, in front of you if you haven't already. But I feel like there's some value between the mediator kind of controlling and dictating it. They should just let me do the mediating between the two battlers. I would have cut it off several times just to try to get my question off. You gotta interject sometimes. Just because I kind of want to hear their answers to your questions. And so if that means you saying, "Hey, you can respond right after this, but let me have Arsonal talk," or "Arsonal, you can talk right after this. Let me hear Cassie's answer," something like that. So where they don't just get off the rockers and it just becomes kind of an argument. Because really, the only question Uncle Ra got to get off to them was, "Why am I here?" I see people asking questions on why did he do that? Why did he do that? If you look back at the Goods versus Cassidy battle, that was the first thing that Cassidy said in that interview to Queen's Flip. "Why are you here?" So I think that was also meant to be funny. As a whole "why am I here" thing, that's what I thought it was. And I think Uncle Ra is also strategically he's kind of baiting Cassidy and baiting the battlers to answer it for him, as he didn't want to expose it himself. You'll see that a lot of times in his own interviews, he tries to stay out of it, and he might try to bait a battler into an answer that he might want them to say, and he kind of tries to take himself out of it as much as possible, and I like that about him. So that's my quick recap of the face-off. A lot of SMD, a lot of back and forth, a lot of intensity. It has me excited for the battle. I like it. I like to see that animosity between two battlers. Although I like to see a little bit of more, remediating from the mediator, Uncle Ron. But all in all, I think it would turn out great. I enjoyed it. It's entertaining for me. So let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Do you want to see more or less mediating? Do you think it was enough? Do you think we might get 3 parts to this? And who do you have winning? So let me know. All right. Every other.